Hello everybody and welcome back to our Northumbria campaign in Medieval Total War Viking Invasion. Here we are invading the rebels of Regit. This is a very important battle for us because if we take over this province, this is going to be a nice secure place for us to take relative to our northern neighbors. It's also going to bring us a lot of infrastructure and is going to remove a very threatening and troubling rebel presence right on our borders. And unlike most of the rebels that you encounter in Medieval Total War, the rebels of Regit can be very aggressive and very, very problematic as your kingdom struggles to fend off Viking raids and invasions of your greedier neighbors. Now, let's see what this weather is looking like. Fine throughout the day. We've got more archers than they do, so I think we want to attack in the good weather. So our army here consists of 3 units of archers. We've got, I think, 4 units of fearedmen all told. Yep. And we've got 4 units of woodsmen. Some of them are enjoying the valor bonus of being trained in Elmet. Actually, I guess all of them are. I think all of these guys have been trained out of Elmet, and some of them are going to get the morale bonus of the Christian shrine that I built there. Not something very visible on their stats here right now. But we've also got a couple of mercenaries to go along with our forces here. We've got some mounted sergeants and some horsemen, and those are going to be helpful to us. Our prince, Yardwolf, I think is his name, is actually a very decent unit himself. He's I think, what is it, Killer Instinct. He's also a materialist. He's educated, but he's got a 6 valor in this fight, so that's going to be very, very helpful. I'm happy with this formation, and we'll see if we need to change that up as we move into place here. Now, the problem is, of course, they've got 4 units of tough armored spearmen who have higher valor than my own units. So we're going to have to approach this very carefully. They've got 1 archer, and they've got some mounted nobles. Otherwise, I think they've got some spearmen and some peasants. Yep, something like that. And so those armored spearmen are, of course, the biggest threat. And we sort of want to pull them down, I think, one at a time if we can. I don't know if that'll be possible. So I'm being a little... Oh, no. Okay. We both decided we didn't want to engage, really. Alright, so I'll turn. Alright, let's go here. I'm concerned that if I grab all of this high ground, they're going to just move off to that hill. I want to get some relatively easy kills. So let's send the archers up to shoot their archer. Let's have this archer unit aim at the peasants. We could also use the horses here. In fact, let's run them up the hill and get them ungrouped. Alright, they're sending down the low-tier stuff. That's actually nice. Let's change the targets. We're going to just aim at the peasants, chew them up. Now, I don't know if routing peasants are going to have an impact on armored spearmen. They may. Alright, but let's get our woodsmen ready to go. Hit those spearmen, and we've got our cavalry ready. Let's see, the peasants are probably going to just flee the field here. Let's switch that up. Alright, bring the cavalry, hit them with the horsemen, hit the archers with our mounted sergeants. If we can get them to rout before the armored spearmen arrive, that would be nice. I don't know. Okay, good. They're pulling back. Alright, let's shoot at the armored spearmen. Alright, they're attacking. Get out of here. And I do want to stay on the archers if possible. My cav can just lose. That's okay. Alright, I'm not too worried about my cav. I want to focus on those armored spears. Focus on those armored spears. Okay, we're going to have to arrange this so that we've got fearedmen out to meet them. We're going to sag the woodsmen back. Get out of the way, guys. Get up on the side and get around. Alright, and this is going to be kind of nasty because... Okay, you're turning. Good. Good, good, good. Let's get over here. Let's get you back. Woodsman can come back. All right, Woodsman. We're going to charge him in the back with our horses. Probably wedge would have been nice there, but I didn't think of it in time. All right, those armored spearmen have kind of low morale, actually. Here comes their general. I think it's time to get my own general out. Let's get the fearedmen out. Got a nice little block of fearedmen here. Now our archers are going to fight the mounted sergeants. That's okay. They're a mercenary unit. They can die in a fire as far as I'm concerned. They're going to be sucking up the funds. I really don't want them to stick around. Okay, stay away from the armored spears. Okay, they're running away, actually. Let's bring this fearedman unit over here to hold off. Now, their general is an armored spear unit, which is kind of nice because that means... Oh, shoot. Okay. All right, I would like you to last a little bit longer. All right, pull back, pull back. Their mounted nobles are not going to be around very long. Pull back quickly. All of my woodsmen are engaged. All right, and my mounted sergeants are routed. Okay. We've got to rout this knot, and then we've got to take on their general. All right, the woodsmen are actually not engaged at the moment. These guys, anyway. All right, let's go take the feared to them. All right, let's hit them with the horsemen. Get my general over there, too, and over here. Yeah, 42 armored spearmen. They're winning. They're doing really, really well. This is kind of terrifying. All right, we're going to focus both the archers on you. Focus archers on you. I guess we got to turn and face those guys. Not much of a choice. Let's bring the woodsman around the back. If we can get the general killed, that'd be good. This is my prince, not my king. But he is the only heir to the kingdom. My only hope is that these feared units are going to hold for as long as they possibly can. Let's get some woodsmen down. Let's get the other woodsmen over. You're not done yet. 15 men and they're not done yet. Good, okay. Yes. Oh, thank God. We'll just stay on them. Let's focus on the archers with our archers. All right. Yes. Fearedmen will come around, and they're all routing. We got them running. Oh, that is so good. Now, let's see if we can get all of them. We might not be able to get all of them. There might be some, like, annoying 2 guys in a fort. I don't think we can get over there. I think there are already 1 or 2 who fled. So, you know, at this point, it almost might be better to let them all get away so that we don't have to wait as long. But we're going to be sieging it out anyway. Okay, horsemen. Yeah, you're not doing anything. Let's go and take out these archers. Oh, man, that felt really close. I mean, you could see those armored spearmen almost broke through. They were doing so well over here, even surrounded for quite a long time. And we've got still a fair amount of fearedmen. These guys are pretty dang reliable, actually. You know, we've got, let's see, 54. They were fighting over here, I guess. So they took the brunt of the punishment. But the woodsmen got chewed up as well. Look at this. This is the problem with your woodsmen, right? They're going to take just horrible casualties. But they can, they can do some damage as well. So against armored units like that, they can be very effective. We'll see how many of these guys are going to get back to the fort. Oh, wow. Prince Yardwolf got some valor. That's good. He only lost 5 men, so that's still a very formidable unit. 7 valor now on the battlefield. Ah, beautiful. Okay, Rheged is conquered. It's under siege. Yes, that's fine. And we've captured the rebels. So I mentioned in the last episode that we were going to play up the murderer angle of our king. He was known historically for being a murderer, a political double dealer. And so we're going to go ahead and execute all of those rebels. We're going to build up that dread if we can. Okay. Unfortunately, no Viking ships were sunk. Prince Yardwolf, well-educated. Awesome. And I just mentioned that, right. So he is educated, and this can go higher and get better. So that now gives him a 5th command star. He's looking great. He's right in line for the throne. I am very happy about this. Now we're allied with the Scots, but this is a little alarming. The only good thing is that there are no Picts left, because in the first episode we destroyed the Picts. Right? We took out the faction, and that means there's lots of rebels around for the Scots to pick on if they want to. So hopefully they will move in that direction. But I am seeing that the Vikings have a strong presence in Kate, and this is terrifying. So all we've seen so far in episode 1 was we had some archers sent by the Vikings down in Dyria, and they fought some peasants that I had. And that was just a stupid little battle. We killed maybe 14 men, and then were immediately routed. But it was just basic archers. There was nothing, particularly Viking about them. But these are some proper Viking units. So the thralls are your peasants, essentially, with shields. They're good for holding down public loyalty, because there's 100 of them, and they're very cheap. But these other units, these are more armored guys. So you've got swordsmen, the Carls, good attack and armored. And you've got the more formidable guys, the landsmen, because they've got axes, which makes them good against armored troops, and they've also got a good attack and they're armored. Most formidable of all, at least of all the units we're likely to see, are the Viking Huscarls. So this is the bodyguard unit, and this is not good, because they will always have these units as long as the faction exists, right? Even if they can't train anything, if they've got no money left, they're always going to be having, more sons coming of age, and each son that comes of age will come with 60 Viking Huscarls. So this is just absolutely terrifying. Not much we can do about that, right? Except hope that they go broke, trying to rule these poor northern provinces, and go somewhere else, and don't bother us. But they don't have ships to land on our eastern coast currently, but they could hit Regit, Kyle, or Pexeton, thanks to the ship in the Irish Sea. Well, it's just something we'll have to live with. Let's lower the taxes in Regit, and 36 men left inside. I'm just going to go ahead, assault the castle there, and I may lead that personally. We'll see, because I want to be careful in terms of who takes the losses there. But that was Prince Yardwolf. And I just love the new little art they made for these, because obviously the medieval European map style models would not be fitting for this in terms of looking Anglo-Saxon. So they did the extra work here and made it look really cool. But we have another prince of age now in Fib, with his father, Prince Ethelred, is a national leader, which is great, but he's also a hedonist, so that sort of makes him not a great fighter. That's okay. He can be someone who can lead. He's got a fantastic loyalty. He's got a decent dread. He's got a nice little command bonus, so he can lead and just be a little careful if he gets into battle. Now, let's see. Do we have our max dread yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we should get one more dread skull at some point. All right, so we're going to queue up that assault, and we're only making 378. Well, at least I feel more secure now in the northwest, because those rebels could have struck at Lothian or Cumbria, so that would have been bad. 64 peasants. I guess we'll leave like some guys here in Lothian, and we'll move the peasants over to Regit just to help with public order. Actually, public order shoots up when you order an assault on the castle for some reason. I guess the locals realize you mean business, and so they are they're feeling better about your rule. Whereas if you're just sitting around passively sieging the place, they seem not as impressed. Okay, so we've also got spies online, and we're moving them around the map, and I think I want to move them on into the east and the south of the map. These are initially rebel provinces. We're sending our bishop over to East Anglia just to see what's there. And we also want to keep an eye on Mercia. Currently, it looks like they're just training feared men like us. But they've got a royal palace now. So that means they could start training Huscarls really at any moment. So yeah, that is a concern. Okay, I don't think we have enough cash to really spend too much on building or training. Let's see for something cheap. 1,000 florins. It takes 6 years, but we get huscarls out of it. That it does feel like probably a good investment. Probably something we should work on now. All right, the Vikings go down to Wales, and they go down to the southeast of England. That is great news. So we're assaulting Whitter. So Whitehall, right? Is that what it's called? There's like a monastery or something down there. I'm not sure. But this is an approximation of its name. Maybe this is the actual Anglo-Saxon name for it. But they've got not too much in there. I think I've got to play it out, though. And I don't know if I'm going to do any better than the autocalc would, but at least I can determine who's going to take the losses. So, yeah, let's attack. And let's use up all of our mercenaries. So actually, we can deploy them, right? Yeah, we just can't. Okay, there we go. We can deploy them just fine. I just forgot how the controls worked for a minute. And we can also, and I forgot this was a feature, we can use our archers sort of as like siege units. I think we will go ahead and put them on loose formation here. And we'll get them to where they should be able to hit at some point. Let's see. Let's get the feared men up. Okay. There we go. We've got 16 now, so it's spread out all the losses amongst these units. And you can see now we've only got 2 units of woodsmen, whereas before we had 4, and they were all very badly chewed up. So the game sort of auto-arranged them, which I'm not a huge fan of. We could dismount our bodyguard unit in a siege situation, which is kind of interesting. So they become a royal bodyguard unit with its own little unique kind of model. So this is very heavily armored. This is a spear unit. They've got a shield. They've got sort of the spectacle helm, it looks like. It's kind of hard to see. They've got a helmet with a, what is that? The chainmail, the thing that comes around the neck, whatever that's called. The aventail, is that it? I don't know. But it's a cool looking unit, and it's a shame because the royal bodyguard only comes in a unit size of 20. So you're never going to get like a reasonable number of these guys. But I think nevertheless, I would like to use them in this way. So we'll keep them in this situation. You know, if you're in a siege, you may as well, right? These guys probably, oh, they can dismount too. They become feudal sergeants, which again is horribly inappropriate. But why not? Let's use them in that capacity. And we can dismount our horsemen. They just become spearmen. Yeah, sure. They've got decent valor, so we'll keep them like that. Okay. So let's get the archers close. Let's see if we can burn down some of these walls. Give us a few entry points. And yeah, you can see the flaming arrows, smoking arrows, whatever you want to call it. So that's getting there. They are taking some losses. I guess it's from this central gate. But yeah, I forgot this was a thing until I watched Conniff Step. And his videos reminded me that existed. All right, we're at 80%. There we go. We can come back now, and we'll go in. I guess we'll go around this way. And let's see. I guess I could take, you know, any one of these feared to back them up. I think I'm going to bring my general over here, and we'll send the feared men, or at least one unit, over this way. Let's get him a little bit closer. Let's see. They've got 11 armored spearmen in there. And they've got 10 spearmen and 16 peasants. So really, we should be able to take them out. I think the spearmen are back to us. So let's be careful. Let's be patient for once. I mean, we are getting hit with arrows. All right, we don't need to be patient with the mercenaries, though. So just, in fact, to keep track of them, I'm going to group them up. I'm going to run them forward. I'll back them up with the general and the feared. And how are we not killing any of these spearmen? There we go. Did I just selected the wrong thing? Alright, Field Sergeant, Spearman, we're going to go right for the peasants, I think. And we're going to get Prince Yardwolf in with the Feared against the Armored Spearmen. We're slowly marching our Feared men into the right gap. Rush them through, I guess. Alright, let's send Yardwolf against their spearmen. Now, we could actually hold formation, so we could act like spears, but we're just going to charge in loose order. Oh man, we're going to take him out pretty easily. That's great. Alright, let's halt that firing. Alright, we're going to charge into the armored spearmen here. Yeah, they could have just gone with the Armored Spearman type sprite, but they didn't. They put a little extra effort into the Royal Bodyguards, even though they're just a dismounted unit that you almost never see. Awesome. Oh, that's so fun. I like that I remembered to do that. So, Siege in Regit, we destroyed 2 facilities and we damaged 1. So that fort is the thing that got damaged, and basically that means it got brought down a level to the fortified village. And 2 facilities are gone, and I'm very upset about that. So what would that be? Okay, Flood and Bearnies, but at least nothing was destroyed. Gosh, you're just rolling the dice with that. All right, what do we have? Oh my gosh, we've still got the Master Blacksmith, and we've still got the Boyar with +1 Valor Archers and the Abbey. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is good news. This is very good news. This is much better than I could have hoped for. Okay, in the Orkney Islands, we've got the remnant of the Picts, with, or maybe this is a rebel army that the Vikings, caused. But regardless, we've got some Celtic-style units, some spears, some basic archers. All right, we'll bring her back down and see what Kate looks like. But that's the thing. We can now start getting our own spies out into the world to cause some chaos in some of these Viking territories. Like we're doing that right now, actually, because we've got a spy here in Essex. Now, the Vikings hold this pretty well, but they tend not to stick around in the early games. So they've got very low taxes, 112% loyalty. If they move any of these guys out, there's going to be a rebellion. So I'll keep that spy there. I'll move this one down here, though. Actually, maybe I'll keep you, and I'll find a new place to move you. Let's move you north. Move you northward. And we're going to have more spies coming pretty soon. But wait, what's our income? 557. So not bad. And this makes it a little better. 240, 243. It is almost not worth, building, for economy in this game. But you've got to do something. So we can get +1 Valor Archers or Armored Spearmen immediately. Now, Armored Spearmen are going to be our most expensive upkeep units initially. Actually, we want to get rid of these horses, I think, right now. This is pretty expensive. That's going to help a little bit. And we can keep training stuff in Lothian. So here's the thing. We can get our own Vikings if we want to. And that would be kind of true to Northumbria, wouldn't it? Because they were the first kingdom to sort of join forces with the great Viking army in a way. And, the dynasty fell, but they didn't slaughter all the English. And so they became their own, new realm, so to speak. So we could join with some mercenary Vikings, but look at the support cost, 74. So we want to be very careful and make sure that we're saving up to train our reliable, good units eventually. So let's instead go. Let's spend 600 on a fortified village in Elmet, and we'll start working on iron upgrades there. In Regit, let's go with a watchtower. That's just a cheap, easy thing. And let's go with some valorous archers in Regit. I think that'll be easy to go with. But yeah, now we get this excellent title. This is, I think, the best title we have initially. And 2 loyalty, 1 acumen, 2 command, 1 piety. Just fantastic all around. So that's 600 in Elmet, 700, 800, 900 or so. I think we want to do some more building in Fib, right? I mean, the difference between this basic farms is 405 versus the improved farmland 484. So that's kind of decent, actually. But it would cost us 600. It takes 6 years. And, you know, I'm not sure that we could hold out if the Scots decide to betray us. So maybe the smarter thing to do is to build a little bit more for the military and start sending some of those guys up before we start investing too heavily there. Here in Deira, do I want to go with... I guess we could go with this, the stockade. That'll allow us to get our next level of spy and agent buildings. So yeah, let's do that. Oh man. I hate seeing Vikings moving around because it means, you know, you see them move because you have the ability to see them move, right? Either that's because you have an agent where they're moving into, or they're going to be moving into your territory. So whenever I see them move, I'm like just waiting for the hammer to fall. But okay, Regit's got watchtowers, got another daughter, that's great. Ethelred I, a great builder. So he's a murderer, but a great builder. And Yardwolf is highly educated. Okay, that's actually not good. So he already had the +1 acumen and the +1 command, but now he just has -1 piety. It doesn't matter too much, honestly. But here we go. We're starting to get into some hero units for Mercia. We don't get them, apparently, but Mercia does. Mercia has these apparently well-known characters that I don't know my Mercian history well enough, but Ethelmund is apparently somebody, and he's a great warrior, and he starts with, like, you know, an amazing command. I guess it's 4 command. And so here he's an urban militia unit, which kind of stinks because it's really unhistorical. But Mercia has some good generals. Okay, we're going to keep our spy there. Actually, let's move the bishop in there too. And let's move another spy over here. Keep going down, keep you moving up, and we'll just train another suite of spies. We want them to be all over the place. Okay. So who do we see with the title for Regit? You want to save it for a general who's, you know, got some command. And our command having generals are all royal family members currently. All right, the Vikings are actually not at war with anybody right now, so they're just. This is interesting. They may actually be trying to develop a kingdom somewhere. It's not in Kate. They moved out of that. Let's go to Moray and then over to Ski, and then well, I guess we can't check out Ireland, but they could be moving in and out of there and causing all sorts of problems. So Regit. Let's see. One thing we could do is work towards mining. This is pretty safe. Right? Within about 10 years, you make up the investment. It's going to cost us half of our current income, though. So let's go with a Christian shrine, because we saw one of the weaknesses of those armored spears is their morale. Right? You can damage them if you get in around them. Okay, Mercians are the happiest. Yeah, the Vikings are still doing just fine. We're going to go down to Middlesex. Yeah, let's just see what that is, and then we'll move our spy down to Kent. And you can go up to Fib. Actually, I'm very happy to see, by the way, that there's no border forts all over the map yet. There's a few. But wow, it's really not too bad. We can actually go to very high here, and our income is still above 600, so I think that's good. That's kind of, I guess, the baseline. But now we do have more Viking ships, and that would really suck if they attacked Béarnice right now. So let's go for some archers, and let's move the woodsman over. And let's actually move... let's move you down. You know, I don't think that's going to deter them necessarily, but it's better than nothing, I guess. All right. Let's see, 623. So they can't attack Fib. The Vikings can't. But they can attack every other place that I own except for Elmet. So I think that means we go for more woodsmen. For Fib, we can maybe afford to build a little now. So let's see. Let's go with the fortified village. I think I want to hold that. Yeah, they're going. So I've got to check the diplomacy, but I think they're not necessarily attacking the Welsh faction because Wales doesn't initially own Gwynedd or Defet, so these are both rebel-held. So yeah, look, they've got a strong presence in the southeast. Dang, this is shaping up to be kind of historical. All right, Christian Shrine, fortified village, another daughter, Greed. Okay. Wow, look at Kent. Oh boy, wow, look at this. Saxon Huscarl. So this is the unit that we're going to get if the Vikings will allow us to finish our royal palace. And this is a great unit. This is really the only thing we can stand up against their Viking Huscarls, right? So a very similar style, but I think probably a little worse. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers. But rebels get this unit, as you can see. Yeah, oh man. So this is their king, Ragnar the First. I remember how we talked about low influence being a thing. So the Viking king apparently doesn't have that problem. Probably because he's been doing a lot of conquering. Speaking of... Okay, we did get a crown, so that's nice. Taking Fib, taking Regit has managed to give us a little bit of that influence there. But yes, we can start to get some rebellions, because East Anglia, 51% loyalty, even with this fairly large army. That's because the Vikings are, of course, a pagan faction, and we're trying to increase the Christianity here with our bishop and with our spy. We're also doing some unrest. So let's move you down here, and let's move out of Kent because, well, there's no Vikings there, right? We can't make it more unrestful than it is. Okay. So they didn't attack this turn. We've got like 2 turns left before this palace is built. We're down to 500. Let's go with another feared and, yeah, another woodsman like we do. Let's grab an archer from Regit as well, and I think I'll move one of you over. Just some loyal archer. All right, even a 2. Actually, let's take the 3 valor guy if we can. I think he's loyal enough. Move him to Lothian, and then down. Okay, and we can also now get our metal buildings online in Elmet. So we could go for our woodsmen. We could give them better armor, or we could give them better attack. Now, I think it makes sense to go for attack because the woodsmen have pretty bad armor anyway, right? So you never want to use them as a sort of frontline stand-up melee grind unit, right? You always want to be flanking with them and getting rear attacks and ambushes in the woods and all of that. So I expect they're going to die anyway. I may as well make them take more guys down with them is my philosophy. So 400 florins. Can we afford that right now? We're training to... It's going to eat into our profits. But yeah, let's do it. It's a safe province to build in. And I'm starting to wonder if I should... train some stuff here too. Well, let's see what happens. They could force us out of Fib, the Vikings. Okay, they're going to Defet. They're going down south. Wow. All right, let's just check diplomacy again. Mercians and Saxons, not at war, but they're not allied either, which is interesting. Vikings still not at war with anybody. So, okay, this is good to know as well. The Saxons, they start off with these 4, Wessex, Dorset, Somerset, and Devon. So they start with these 4 provinces, and now they've moved eastward, and they've got Saxon huscarls of their own. So that's unsettling. Do the Mercians have huscarls yet? Yes, they do. And here's another guy, Oswulf, scarred, 4 command. Just good to be Mercian, I guess. All right. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could give some lordships here. I mean, you don't really want a woodsman to be the general, but he's got the best acumen, I guess. Yeah, the archer. 135. I mean, that's the thing. It's not going to make much of a difference. 135. We give it to him. It's 2. Okay, 70. That's actually pretty good. All right, it might be time then to start seriously thinking about that. Okay, one more turn. Are they going to allow it? Bring the archer down here. I know they could attack Lothian, tempting Lothian to get an abbey. We could get Celtic warriors. This is actually not a bad unit to have around, because 50 upkeep is the same as your spearmen or your armored spearmen. And these are a, just throw them in unit. Hope they do well. Flank them. You know, they're not spearmen despite this art here. They're swordsmen, but they can be effective. Okay, so I would hope that the Vikings recognize that this is, kind of a big place for them to attack. All right, let's hold off on woodsmen until we get this armorer built. And let's see. I think we also want to hold off on building anything else because we're just running out of cash. So how's this going? Very low. Jeez. Got a Saxon emissary here, maybe trying to cause some trouble. But notice that they don't have like anything built. I think the Vikings are running into money problems. They've got their princes and some thralls holding down Essex. So maybe what we want to do is go west with some of our agents. Now let's get down to Wessex. I don't know if they've built a border fort, but that'll be a good test if they have. And actually, we'll send you over into Wales. All right. I think we also forgot to move our princess for like 10 years. She's 22. Okay. Ski is untouched. And the Scots really haven't done anything. Still, we can't get over to Ireland. Let's keep her up in Kate. Just keep an eye on things if the Vikings are going to make a move up there. Okay, Defit, yep, coming back over to East Anglia. So they've decided they can't beat these rebels. And the Mercian leader has died from illness. That's Offa. That is the famous King Offa of the Dyke that basically runs here. And he's died, finally, of an illness. So we've got a new king. We'll see if that comes with a new foreign policy attitude. I don't know if it does. It would be really cool if it did. Natural leader, inbred, and believer. Okay, good. -3 command. Okay, and the influence there is very low because Mercia has done nothing. They haven't conquered anything. Maybe initially they took one of these, but they lost it to a rebellion or something, but I doubt it. Okay, and we can now see that, yes, the Saxons are training huscarls. So this, I think the way we're going to have to do this is as soon as the Saxons make a move, as soon as they go to war with Mercia, which now they're allied, which I guess is good, but as soon as they start getting strong, we need to start, doing stuff ourselves. And hopefully we don't get attacked by the Mercians, before that happens. All right, 512. So the economy is still just okay. Let's actually put you in Lindisi. We may, well, okay, we're not counter-spying in a place that's not our own, but there's going to be a lot of agents moving in and out of here potentially, so this could be interesting just to have an agent down here, but probably more useful to have an agent over here. And let's see, Clyde, I don't know. I don't know if there's a border fort there, but let's go into Pois, and then we'll check out these Viking territories. Like, I don't necessarily want the Vikings to do badly over there, because I like them as a balancing act against the other English factions, as long as they're not bothering me. Right? And yeah, they're not at war with the Welsh. They're actually allied with the Welsh, so the Vikings are just trying to grab territory along the coast and hold it. Okay, but we've now got our royal palace built. Yeah, so that means we can train our own Saxon huscarls. But we've got only 1,000 florins in the bank, and they cost 75 upkeep, so we could not train very many of them. Let's, though, get an emissary, and we'll just have him around. And I think the next thing we want to do is look at economy. So we've got our fortified village in Fib. We could go with trade here. I think we're at war with the rebels, though. Yeah, that's too bad. But they don't have ports anyway. So we could theoretically get like a port here, here, and here, here, and here. Those are all places with trade goods. And, you know, get a ship in the sea and see if the Vikings will allow that to happen. Be easiest to do this in Regit. Because one ship here, if we have ports here and here, one ship is going to get us trading with, let's see, Clyde, Kyle, Brega, and Pois, because those ports are already built. So that actually is the most economical trade to sort of have in the Irish Sea. If we try to trade on the eastern seaboard, notice how many you know, regions we have to go through, sea regions. We have to get down to here, so that's going to take at least 2 ships if we just want to trade between Deer and Lindissi. And if we want to trade with Fib, that's 3, right? And that's all assuming the Vikings allow us to do that. Jeez, we don't really have the money. But let's go with a 500 gold copper mine, because that's where we can build mines. And that's the strongest place. We've got men there to defend it. All right, Mercian's the richest. Look at this general. All right, Dunstan is a hedonist. Lord Oswulf is honest. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, man, the Vikings are doing quite well. But notice the Christianity here. 89%, 97%. Right? If we get some bishops over here as well, we could maybe start tipping that. Okay, they're now at war with the Irish. Okay. Well, let's get our princess over to Ireland then. I want to see who owns what. And let's see. The spy here is probably pretty decent. But let's move him down to Regit, where we will get a port eventually. Let's move the emissary in Deer. We are going to get a port there as well, and we've got a spy there currently. Okay, so let's just queue up all the spies again and wait another turn or two. All right, yes. So Pois, just Welsh, Clyde. Let's go to Gwynedd. All right, the Vikings going into Monmouth. So there's lots of rebel territory for them to take. Man, they're gonna be strong. I'm a little concerned. All right, very honest and a chinless wonder. Okay. At least he's not a family member. Okay, so Gwynedd has no Vikings currently, but armored spearmen, so that's bad. We'll move him back and then into Defet next turn to see what's there. Let's start getting you down here. Actually, I want to kind of move you down this way. Let's take a look at Somerset. 564. Okay, good. So this is making us that extra little bit of income. And now I feel like we could actually afford the trader. So this is not going to make us a ton of cash, but it's a necessary first step. All right, we're doing a lot of building. Good for us. Okay, so they've got either agents or border forts in Mercia. Oh, awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So our prince and heir is being offered marriage with the Irish princess Emmer. Absolutely. Secret avarice. Okay. Let's see what's in Mercia. No border force, so they've got agents of their own, which is scary. All right, let's go to Roxetten. And let's keep our spy up here, because I think now we need to start working on home defense, right, for our agents. Okay, so we've got a married heir, which is fantastic because the son, Ethelred I, is now 53, and he's done some good work, mostly in the first episode, right, where he single-handedly destroyed the Pictish nation. But his son is going to take over, and I'm feeling pretty good about this. He's got better command, he's got better acumen, worse dread, but he's got some very nice stats. And he's married, so he's going to start producing heirs hopefully soon. And we do have, honestly, a lot of princes, and importantly, princesses coming of age down the line. So that's very nice to see. But yeah, we're getting to a point now where our militaries are pretty strong, but we don't really have much to do with them just yet. Now, I said earlier that my hope was to do a couple of things. One, to sort of role play this murderer, this sort of dark cloak and dagger politics, and we're beginning that by getting our spy network out. The other thing was to try to get inheritance working, to see if we could get an inheritance with another kingdom. So we've got now the heir apparent married to an Irish princess. So if the Irish faction is eliminated and she's still alive, then we might inherit some of Ireland. Now, the Vikings are at war with the Irish, or they were. So that could happen. Let's just get the princess moving around the map, and we'll just go clockwise all the way through up to Ulster and see what they have. And we can get our spies over there. Once we start getting ports, that'll help everything. But we also want to start getting assassins out, because that's why I bring up the inheritance issue. If we can eliminate a faction through assassination, that faction will turn into rebels like the Picts did, and there would be lots of territory for us theoretically to inherit. So we may see if that works. So we're going to actually, do I want to go for assassins now? 500 florins. I don't think we're spending anything currently. Everything is just queued up at the moment. So let's do it. Let's get assassins online in Dara. And, gosh, the Vikings. So there's probably going to be a rebellion in East Anglia. And maybe in Kent. But I kind of think it might be good to move my spies out. Because oh, they got berserkers. Dang. Eric Eightfingers. What a great name. I mean, don't we all have 8 fingers in a way? Let's see. So, I guess here's the thing. I want the Vikings to do well down here for the moment, but also they are terrifying. So it probably makes sense just to keep my spies where they are, right? That'll cause a big rebellion. That'll still probably be too much of a problem for the Mercians to handle. If they invade, probably the Vikings are going to get involved with war with the Mercians, and then we can choose an opportune time to betray them. Now, that's going to hurt our influence, but I think we have to do that. So, see how the next couple of turns go here. Vikings, oh man, they're going up for Monmouth pretty heavily. Oh, okay, the Scots moving into Athfotla. Okay, good for them. And the Vikings take Monmouth. All right, we get Catholic bandits. Now, we'll have to see if my spy had anything to do with that. And East Anglia, good. And unrest, okay, yes. Prince Yardwolf has avarice. Oof. This is going to be tricky. He's going to be the king. So we're going to be making money with him, but he's also going to be presiding over a potentially rebellious kingdom. So let's check our spy. Yes, 2 valor here. And 2 valor for you. Dang, okay. Well, that's wonderful. So what we'll do is we'll swap you out. I'm going to move you over here for a chance to get some more valor. I'm going to move you down into Essex. And, yeah, I think that's a good move. We'll see, importantly, what the Saxons and the Mercians are going to do to this. Okay, we've got, yeah, lots of troops. What's this looking like? Okay, it's not, it's not terrible, I guess. We were going to move you over to Defet. That never happened. So let's keep you here because I noticed the Mercians are kind of building up. And it's probably because of the Saxons, right? They're building up troops, And if I had to put money on it, I might say that the Saxons would be in a good position to do a lot of damage to Mercia, and we want to pile on as well as soon as that happens. Okay, so Rheged, not a lot here. Now, I am not above invading Ireland. That was a famous, pastime of Northumbrian kings back in the day. Edgefrith, the one who invaded the Picts in 685, the Battle of the Dunnican Moss, I think it was, Nectan's Mere. Edgefrith, met his end up here at the hands of the Picts, but he also had apparently invaded or ravaged Ireland, Brega specifically, I think. So some of the later commentators on Edgefrith's ill-fated expedition north saw his defeat at the hands of the Picts as a divine retribution for him invading the peaceful, God-fearing Irish people. You have to remember, a lot of the Northumbrians had strong ties with Ireland. The game doesn't really represent this stuff very well. No game that I've played really does. So there were all these cultural ties and trade ties, and it takes so long to establish trade here and ship travel and stuff. But historically, that was very easy. This was a connecting. This Irish Sea was sort of a highway. It was a way to maintain relationships, especially up here. So you had Iona, which was establishing connections between the Northumbrians and the Irish and the Scots. And all of this was sort of this very interesting web of dynastic connections and monasteries and all the rest of it. And apparently Edgefrith, the Northumbrian king, needed some cash, so he ravaged Ireland. Well, that doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. So I think that would be historically apt. And I'm going to, if I get the chance, I wouldn't say no. Now, it's going to be a little while because I could build a port theoretically, but that's all of my money. So I'm a little hesitant to do that at the moment. More likely, we would have to deal with our new neighbors, either the Scots or the Vikings. Let's send our spy up here and send a few spies north because I do want to make this difficult for them. I don't want the Vikings just to have Monmouth. And actually, a Pictish reemergence might be kind of nice right about now. So I guess we'll just wait. Okay, they're going up to Orkney, going into Moray. Oh, they attack us? Damn. That's... Okay, they've actually moved out of Fib. Because my son came of age, yes. Oh, that was close. All right. Unrest in Monmouth. Good, screw you. All right, the Viking leader has died. That's also good. And our spy has been caught and killed in Somerset. Oh, we caught an assassin. So we're not the first ones getting the agents out and about. I mean, we've got the spies, but yes. Okay, Prince Edulf, he saved the day here. If he had not come of age, I think the Vikings would have probably pressed their attack, but they invaded. He came of age at just the right time, and they decided they couldn't do it. Fantastic. All right. Treaty canceled. Oh, the Welsh has stuck with us. Very nice. So he was allied with the Vikings, but he's dropped his alliance now with them and is staying with us. Oh, but the Scottish. Oh. We're no longer allied to the Scots. We're no longer allied with the Saxons. Ooh, terrible. But Prince Edulf at least is looking very nice. Hard sums, giving him +1 acumen, and a natural leader, +2 morale, +1 loyalty. Let's take a closer look at that loyalty. Ethelredius is looking very nice, and Eadulf is looking great. All right, so we've got a couple of sons here who are in a very strong position, but we've now got this neutral. Oh, this is terrible. They've got armored spearmen. They've got a lot of family members, and they can train more in Dalriada, the armored spears. So we've let that build up maybe a little too long. Did they build an abbey in Kyle? My gosh. I guess that's the advantage of having a Viking alliance. All right, Irish. Let's see. I think the Irish probably don't have Ulster because the Scots begin with that. But we will see. So we're now at war with the Vikings again. And yeah, let's keep moving the spies up. Let's get one here. Come on, Picts. Now, these guys could absolutely swamp me right now, but I've got a strong force in Regit, and so I could counter them pretty hard, I think. Let's go back to training troops. Let's see, do we want to go with Huskarls? Let's train 1 unit. And 1 unit of archers, and that's probably going to be all that we can do for a little while. But we've done some good work over here. Let's see. Okay, so unfortunately he didn't get any rebellion credit. But we've got some good spies down here. We're probably going to get a rebellion in Essex again. And we'll see, at least we're allied with the Mercians. So we'll see what they do. Okay, and yes, Defet has Viking presence and also a pagan shrine. So this is a dangerous building. If they get the 2nd level of this, they can get berserkers. Now, they need to build some forts, I think, before they can make that. But yeah. So we'll see if we can get a rebellion there. Let's just keep a spy in Gwynedd just to verify that. And let's see. Nope, just spearmen, so nothing worth building there. Good, yes. All right, our spy and our bishops have done some work in Essex. There's Catholic bandits. And we got Catholic bandits in Defet. Rest in Essex. And Welsh leader dies. Irish leader dies. Okay, famine in Pexet. That's okay. Let's see what our 3-star spy. So this is awesome. Starting to get some good experience on these guys. Okay, very low taxes, so let's swap them again. You'll go here, and you can go back down here. But this is a very formidable army, so 3 units of berserkers. They've got a prince, Prince Canute, great warrior, and a drinker. Oh, that's great warrior is awful. Plus 5 health. So that means, like, every single one of these guys, maybe it's just the general. That would make sense. But he'll take like 5 extra hits. So it's hard enough to get a hit on these Vikings. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's keep going up, I think. And let's send you down here and here and here. Yeah, so the alliance is Vikings, Scots, and Saxons. And I guess I've got to anticipate a Saxon attack up here, but this is very nice. Very nice here. We've got a 1-star spy keeping an eye on Monoth, which has some armored spearmen. Now let's see what these Catholic bandits are. Oh, supposedly Catholic bandits. We got Viking landsmen, Viking Raider Cav, which is an awesome looking unit, but is actually not that great. And then thralls. Lefric the Confessor. All right, so the Catholic bandits I'm not super impressed with, but that's at least going to make things harder for them. All right, we do, because of the famine, need to watch the taxes. But actually, we'll bring a spy over that way. Like I said, we want to have some of these guys moving into our territory. But since we're at war with the Vikings, let's give it another couple of turns. Maybe that war will end, and then we can start building towards trade again. All right, I think I want to move you up now. And all right, we've got a guy with some command. So now we can start looking at titles. All right, he's got command, he's got 2 acumen. So what would be nice would be a place with like at least 1 command and maybe a place with... All right, that's actually got some acumen too. Let's give him Regit. 3-star general. Awesome. I'm going to leave him in Bernicia, though, and he will govern this army. I think that looks pretty good. And we need to wait a little bit. Let's do, okay, 1 more spy. And then when the assassin building is finished, the tavern, we will go for assassins. Yeah, look at these stacks they've got. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've got to get spies. So assassins freely roaming. We've got our general. He's nobody. He wasn't even a lord, but still. Okay, the Vikings are withdrawing from my spy-caused rebellion. And Essex as well. And he's got a rebellion in East Anglia. Awesome. Okay, Mercians are the strongest. Lord Edgar's educated. Oh, beautiful. And Yardwolf is eloquent. All right, are you somebody that should be a governor then? Yes, absolutely you should. How about I make you Thane of Fib? Someday that's going to make some money, I think. We'll move you up to Fib right away. You guys can hang out here. Okay, we're still at war with the Vikings, and maybe that's because of the ships. I'm not sure, but let's see. 3-star, no star, 2-star. Okay, this is all fine. Armored spearmen. I mean, this is great. That's what we want to keep doing. Now, again, we've got to keep agents here to alert us to when the Saxons or the Mercians start attacking, because right now the Vikings, you know, they can roam around at will. These are the same units that were over here, right? But this can beat, I think, anything on the map currently, just about. I guess a strong Saxon army would give it a run for its money. But the Vikings could concentrate their forces and do just a ton of damage. All right, our princess, Connacht. All right, so this is all Irish. Irish are at peace with the Vikings currently. All right, now I'm a little worried about building up Fib. Okay, but we're making 654. Let's go with some feared. And we've got like 1,000 or 900 or so to play with. So let's spend a couple of that on an assassin. And that can be used as counter spies as well. So I'll move you up to Cumbria. And we're just going to queue up spies thereafter. We're going to get like a few assassins, but we're going to prioritize spies because of the cost. Okay, so this is not in danger of rebelling just yet. Okay, so now, what do we do next? I guess a safe build would be something in Elmet, but maybe in Regit. Maybe Regit is kind of safe as well. Jeez, do I want to go with some armored spears? It's making us a little bit of cash currently. I'm worried to build a port. I don't think there's any point in building it until we sort of deal with the Viking question. So let's just leave that for the moment, and let's go with something in Elmet like Armorer. So we'll get better stuff for our woodsmen. Okay, the Saxons making their move. The Vikings retreating out of Monmouth. They're not strong enough to take it. And, yeah, the Saxons are going for Essex. That's a good move for them. Because now Sussex is safe from the Mercians, right? They need to go through Wessex or Essex first. And they can take Cantware at their leisure. Theoretically. Okay, good. Also good. All right, our spy got that enemy assassin. Awesome. All right, Lord Yardwolf. Oh, no. Okay, -1 command. I think I'm going to keep him. This is going to get bad. It will get worse. But we'll keep that that lordship right there. All right, we've got a feared unit. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep you here. Well, I think... Let's see. How old is our king? 58. All right, let's do a few more turns. We can go until the king dies, I think, unless a big battle happens, and then we'll call it short there. And we're still at war with the Vikings, so yeah, I guess those ships are causing the problem. So we'll have to wait for them to move or something else. Now you can see the Scots here haven't done much of anything. They have built actually some gold and a port. I don't think they start with that, but otherwise they've done very little. Nevertheless, it is something. So they've got cash, right? And that gold mine has given them some. There's border forts here, though, so this isn't safe. But let's, before the queen, the princess here ages out, let's give her in marriage to Lord Edgar, King of Strathclyde, just to ensure that loyalty. We'll keep the assassin here, and we'll keep eyes on other potential units that could be, moving through, agents that we could assassinate. All right, so we'll see what happens now, because there could potentially be a Viking war over the southeastern parts of England. They may want to seize some of that land back. All right, so what to purchase? Alright, we've got Spearmen we can train in Fib, but I'm holding off because they're a low-tier unit, so maybe the time is come to build, like, stables. Especially since there's lots of archers being trained by the Scots. Okay. Alright. Bandits in Defet, good. Unrest. Alright, here's the spies are paying off. The Saxons are mobilizing and preparing for a major attack. The Mercians appear to be the target of their planned invasion. The attack is not likely to happen until the year after next. Alright, so this is actually kind of horrible news for us. Jeez. Because the Saxons, I think, look to be the strongest. Okay, and our spy in Rock and Seton is also giving us that news. Okay. Well-educated Lord Edgar. So that's him. Now he's got his 4th command star. Right? Awesome. So that attack looks like it's going to happen. And my money is on the Saxons doing fairly well. But they do have a long border, so this may cause problems. It may leave us opportunities. But with these Vikings, we can't... I don't feel free to capitalize on those quite as much as I'd like to. So... And we still don't have a great income yet. And there's no point in building a trade fleet as long as the Viking ships are around. All right, well, let's get a spy into Middlesex. And then we'll keep going there. Okay, we can go to very high. Let's just double check the taxes. Yeah, everything's fine there. 633, that's actually good. And Bernicia. Do we want to build? I feel like we could hold off, a reasonable invasion. It's just so much money to build a trader. But this would give us, a decent return eventually. And, we could lose our infrastructure if we lose Dara, but it wouldn't take too long to get that back up and running, even if we get it interrupted. So we're building in Fib. We're building in Elmet. Let's train, one armored spearman unit. Alright, where are those Vikings going? Good, down there. Alright, they're retreating from Defet. We got unrest to Cantware. Alright, Scottish leader has died from an illness. Good, that's going to hopefully make them pause a little bit before attacking me. And a magnificent builder from King Ethelred I. Not bad. Alright, and we've got a princess who just came of age. Let's go up to Kate with her. Alright, there's our armored spears. Alright, that looks a little better. Now, we should actually get you guys retrained. So let's send you to Bernicia. And I think everything else is looking pretty good. This is still a problem, but let's go with some horsemen. Yes, we'll just do one unit. It pretty low support cost, 60. It's not ideal, but it's kind of manageable. And let's go with... let's go with a metalsmith. Again, horsemen you're going to use from the back, from the flanks. Okay, spy. Alright, Somerset, we knew there was trouble, but I'm not sure exactly what kind of trouble it was, if it's a border fort or not. So we'll find out. We have enough. Alright, we don't need the bishop here anymore. And I'm less worried about the Vikings, so let's actually send him up to Middle Angle. All right, they're starting war with the Mercians. This is good news for us. We can start helping out our allies / taking advantage of their trouble. All right, so unrest in East Anglia, good. We're most advanced. All right, so we've got to beware because there could be border forts. All right, Lord Edgar has married our daughter. And let's get a spy into Mercia. There was a spy, an enemy spy in here, an enemy agent of some kind. Let's see if he's still around. And unfortunately, we can't do anything against this, but hopefully the Mercians will, and hopefully they'll have trouble doing it, right? It'll keep them nice and busy. For this, let's see. I think it's time maybe to move some of these troops down. Into Deira. We'll go with some more woodsmen, and let's go with another Saxon Huscarl unit, actually. That's very spendy, but we'll do it, because we're going to be getting into some fighting, I'm afraid. Alright, you're coming, yes, you're coming to Bernicia. You're going to get retrained as a full unit of Feared. And, geez, hopefully the Vikings are just, not interested in attacking us. Let's see what this looks like. So, it's the year after next. That attack did not happen. Right, the Mercian-Saxon War has not begun, I don't think. Yep, the Vikings are trying to take Lindsey. Okay, Harold has died. And our Northumbrian king has died as well. So there's another assassin in Lothian. Catholic bandits in East Anglia. Okay, good. And a loyalist revolt in Lindsey. All right, well, whatever happens here, I guess I'm kind of okay with. But let's check out this spy. 4 valor, awesome. All right, we've got some good spies. We've got 2 who have decent valor. So here's the Northumbrian king, and notice that low command, low influence, and he's got lots of low-tier stuff. The Saxons are looking much better positioned. Oh my gosh, look at all these Huscarls. So we need to either decide, because they're not at war yet, when the war happens, as it will, I'm sure, in the next episode, whether we're going to maintain our alliance with Mercia or cynically betray them, stab them in the back, because we're no longer allied with the Saxons, so we can't choose anymore, right? That would be the way that we could avoid losing influence. But no, now we'll have to decide to actively betray our ally, which may be the best move, because we can't help them currently, right? Like, if the Saxons invade here, they could take over half of Mercian territory, and we cannot touch them because we've got no naval ability. So the better thing to do might be to pile on and grab at least some territory so the Saxons don't get all of it. But probably the thing to do right now, because I'd like to take Lindsey for myself. But let's move into Lindsey, and let's see if the Mercians are going to follow suit, because maybe with this army we would be able to defeat whatever the Vikings are going to send, and we'll get some influence for our new king, Yardwulf I, who actually is starting with 5. So he's the guy who fought the battle at the beginning of this episode, took Regit, managed to destroy the rebel forces at Strathclyde, even though Strathclyde's more like up here. But regardless, he was able to secure the northwestern corner of the kingdom, and but he does have a dark strain in his traits. He does have a killer instinct. He's very valorous on the field of battle, highly educated, but he is avaricious. He's greedy. So we'll see how that greed is going to manifest in the next episode. Hope to see you then.